Hi and welcome to Phoenix Crypto. My name's Andy. I'm going to be talking you through a little bit about an indicator that I've been using for the last 4 months now, Wolfpack Pro, which I really enjoy and I wanted to share with all of you exactly the way it works, what I like about it and what I don't like. So to kick it off, I think a lot of people are probably quite aware of market Cipher, which is a leading indicator. One of the really things that really distinguish market Cipher is the oscillator, and the idea of waves, momentum waves, trigger waves, money flow, VWAP, all of that type of stuff. And Wolfpack Pro follows a very similar paradigm. However, you can see that there is significantly more going on the screen, significantly more. This is both a good thing and a bad thing. There is more information. It's all packed in there, but at the same point, it's a little bit harder to decipher. You need to take a little bit more time to look over things and to really digest, what the indicator's telling you. Probably not a bad thing because we're trading with money after all, and that's only a good thing, right? If we can take our time and if we get more information, so it's not a bad thing. But market Cipher is probably more. It's probably easier for new traders and probably easier to start with. But I think Wolfpack Pro really adds a lot of information that doesn't exist in market Cipher, and we'll go through that now. So, as I said, it's the same paradigm as market Cipher with these momentum waves. These aren't the best example, but here we go. You can see an anchor wave, two trigger waves. You can plot a you can plot a trend line. You can see the momentum shifting up. You can see this yellow line here, which is following, which is what they call a acceleration wave. So it's not the same as a VWAP, but it's kind of front running the fact that we're starting to move up quite dramatically, and so it follows the same kind of model, but it does add a lot more information, and particularly around these different types of colors. You can see them all here. You can see them on these Bollinger Bands. You can see them pretty much everywhere. Everything's got two shades. Even here you can see like a bright red and a darker, more mottled red. Same here. You can see this bright green and a darker green. All of the different colors are showing varying degrees of strength. That's probably the best way to put it. So, you can see that, a lot of positive momentum, slight downward momentum, positive momentum, downward momentum. And then obviously when something actually goes below the zero line, you can see a lot of negative momentum, a little bit of positive momentum, and that's really important. I suppose that's what I'd probably call context. And you can see it on the Bollinger Bands, which are some of my favorite things about Wolfpack Pro. You can see these light green, it goes slightly dark green, there's this kind of orangey browny color, then it goes into this deep red, and actually what you can really see here is as here's a good example. You can see this clear divergence, this red cross, which probably doesn't need explaining, that is likely to be quite a bearish symbol. We then go to the downside, but actually we get some forewarning. We get the red cross, but we also get this Bollinger Band. And when it narrows, as it does there, what it's actually signifying is there's a period of consolidation or price action is starting to become a bit more stable, and it's kind of forewarning that as the Bollinger Band curves outward, it's starting to say, well, actually price action is starting to become a bit more volatile. It doesn't tell you which direction, the color tells you, but the actual band itself, the shape of the band doesn't tell you whether it's going to go up or going to go down. It is purely the fact that this is curving round and saying, right, we're getting more volatile. And you can see, if I try and find, there might be another example. But here's a good point. Where price starts to the Bollinger Band starts to squeeze, and this is quite a part of another trading strategy. And just as it comes out of it, you can see it start to curve out, right? Does it here? It narrows as price action is starting to become more stable, and then it starts to curve out, and to show it's going to be more volatile. It's one of my favorite things on the indicator is seeing the Bollinger Bands, and I like it on the oscillator. I actually prefer it on the oscillator than I actually do on the price action. Other things that on here, you can see here you've got red dots, which are quite standard in Market Cipher, and you can see green dots, which are standard in Market Cipher. But then you've got, this green triangle, then you've got red triangle, then you've got red X, orange diamond, another type of green dot. What do all these mean? And all of them, you've got here a green diamond, and then you've got this yellow cross, this gold cross. What do all these mean? Well, all of them are showing varying degrees of strength. So it's trying to categorize something as not just it's either bullish or not, or bearish. It's trying to say, well, this green here, that's a normal bullish kind of reversal pattern. The yellow diamond, that's a moderately strong. The green triangles, if I can find one here, that is pretty strong, and this is signifying a trigger wave. So it's saying that actually, this might be forewarning that there's going to be a price increase. The green diamond, and I suppose the difference between the green triangle is actually what it's saying is although this might be on a trigger wave, there's a gap between the trigger wave and the anchor wave, where the green diamond, which is, I pay particular attention to the green diamonds. This is saying where actually not only is it bullish, but there isn't a gap, right? And so therefore it's a better indication. Okay, I gotta be honest, I probably don't pay a huge amount to these. Well, it's probably about picking the right moment. I think for most people who are quite used to the idea of anchor wave, trigger wave, trend line, and then pump, the green diamond is the one to look out for. That is very, very typical. Where you find the green triangles, and I'll see if I can find one, is you often see them on kind of action like this, and also the yellow diamonds. The yellow diamonds are probably more common and probably a bit more potent, and quite a strong indication. And then the other thing is, it's not very clear here, but let me see if I can find another example. This green circle here, this one is a very strong bullish trend continuation pattern. So that is saying, right, this is quite a big move. We've got another one here. We can be quite confident about our price action. And the same absolutely goes for the bearish signs. So you got your standard red dots, and at the other end of the spectrum you've got your red cross, which is quite significant. And you can see that here. You've also got these orange diamonds. I think these are quite significant as well. I would almost turn and say these are front running. Maybe not on that one, but there. It's pretty much front running. The drops, and you can see on this one actually lines up quite nicely over here, and I'll explain what that is in a minute. So plenty of signals. So it's all about indicating a degree of strength. Other things about Wolfpack Pro, you can obviously see trend lines. What it also does is kind of extrapolates where it continues. Okay, and there is actually a strategy. I don't personally use it, but I've seen a number of people use it very successfully, where they use these kind of dotted trend lines and they map them out a little bit more on the charts, and they manage things as trend lines on the oscillator, not just on price action. Very, very interesting strategy. And I think I'm not sure if Liquid actually references it has got a video on his own YouTube specifically on the trend lines, but I know he features it in a number of his own videos. So, you know, if you want to know more, it's well worth taking a look. So these are all fairly standard. There are some new additions. You'll see these flames here, and what these are doing is, while I said this was front running, this is actually even more so. So this is trying to signify a FOMO pump. Okay, so what this is trying to say is there's a FOMO peak, and it's a strong warning signal, and it prints when the market is clearly overextended, and indicates it's an indication to manage risk appropriately. So on the one hand, you know, we all like getting in on those pumps. You know, price action goes crazy, it's fantastic. However, it then is going to dip and dip strongly. So you know, it is a forewarning. You know, they are important, and we've got the opposite. I'll see if I can find one now, but we've got lightning bolts that have been added, which where are we? I don't know why this hasn't loaded some more of the chart. So there's some lightning bolts which go at the bottom. I'll see if I can find some. I'm sure I would on a 30-minute. And those lightning bolts are the exact opposite. So this is a fear of missing out kind of FOMO dip. A strong early buy signal signifies that the market is in strong fear, and that a reversal is likely soon. You know, be cautious if you're in shorts. Watch for other signals providing confidence. So there we go. Put it on 30 minutes straight away. There's one there. You know, really good. Do want to just then talk a little bit around. You know, I mentioned about these green diamonds, and I'm going to actually move to a different time frame and date, because where is it? In fact, I think I'm on it here. Again, towards the end of September. You know, and it precipitated this massive rise up, which I think went from about 40k near thereabouts, right up to about 60k in a matter of, you know, a few days. Massive pump. You can see, you know, I've drawn this trend line here. You can see the, you know, anchor wave, trigger wave, another trigger wave. You know, and you can see all these green diamonds, and they're signifying, look, you know, not only are we bullish, but you know, these only sit on the trigger waves, and they you know, when they're connected. The golden cross is probably one of the most important parts of Wolfpack Pro, and that is signifying a possible breakout. They only ever appear after a green diamond, so they never appear any other time. So you can have green diamonds on their own, you can't have golden crosses on their own. They always follow these green diamonds. It's very, you got to be a bit cautious on these. You know, if you trade on them just on their own, you're likely to get wrecked pretty quick. You know, they on their own, they are not enough of an indication, and sometimes they don't 100% pan out. You know, when you see a single one, where I get a lot of confidence in them, and this was a trade that I saw, wanted to get into, and thought, I've got another day, and I saw it one evening. Next day, it just went, and I missed it, which was a bit silly, because it was a really obvious trade. You know, these, when you start seeing multiple, you know, together, that starts giving you a lot of confidence. And of course, we're on a 4-hour time frame, so fairly confident on the back of this that actually, you know, this is going to be a big move. And I think actually this move was signaled on quite a few time frames, particularly I think it was the 12-hour, maybe even the 1 day. Certainly, you know, there was a number of time frames that were kind of giving an early warning sign. So that was a bit of a missed opportunity that I'm still regretting to this day. But you can see that actually it's quite important, and probably the Golden Cross and probably the Bollinger Bands are two of my favourite things on Wolfpack Pro, and really distinguish it from every other oscillator on the market. I've not seen one with this level of depth of information on here. There are a whole bunch of other things on here. So you've got here, which is a modified RSI. So the green is a bullish continuation, the purple is a bearish continuation. You've got these teal, which is like an oversold alert, and you've got these pinks, which are an overbought alert. So you can see this was warning here, this was warning again here. Got that red dot, So the color change. You can. There's a number of things in confluence there. Next bar is showing trend line breaks. So where you can see there's a trend line break down. This one is a trend line break up. Trend line break up. So again, positive kind of signals. Third bar is ATR, which is just showing bullish, bearish. And I think I might be wrong in saying this. I think it's a lagging indicator, but still one that's useful. And then the fourth bar is a broader indication around how much money flow is flowing in and out, and again, it's got varying degrees of strength. So you can see a bright green, a slightly darker green, a bright red, slightly darker red. So it's showing varying degrees of strength, or when something is starting to move out of one pattern and then into the next. Trying to think if there is anything else that I want to be able to show on this indicator. As you can see, there is an awful lot on here. There's no way around it. Sorry, I'm messing about with my screen. Don't know what's going on here. So it's a really good indicator. A lot of information. I'm going to zoom back out, and I'm going to just try and get rid of this here. I'm going to show you something else, which for people who love Market Cipher, what the developer has done is added a overlay for typically Market Cipher or similar indicators. So you can have the best of Wolfpack Pro onto Market Cipher, the Market Cipher that we all know and love. So you can see the Bollinger Bands, you can see the golden crosses, the green diamonds, you can see the monster wave here. I've turned off the for the purposes of this demo, I've turned off the money flow and VWAP, but you can turn off the opposite and keep them on Market Cipher, and turn them off on the Trigger Wave Pro, which is part of the Wolfpack Pro suite. It's got mostly the same information. It looks the same or similar. So if you're familiar with Wolfpack Pro, you would be familiar with this. So it's got all the things on there. You can see the FOMO pumps there. You can see the dips. You can see all of the same information. The Bollinger Bands. It can look a bit messy, particularly with the RSI lines, if I'm honest. And I probably don't use the RSI that much in Market Cipher compared to in other ways. But you can see, so it's quite good. So I actually like to have both Market Cipher and Wolfpack Pro open simultaneously on my chart with the price action. It does make for quite a condensed screen, I'll be honest, but I like the simplicity of Market Cipher. And from that perspective, I'm quite faithful to it. At the same point, there's no game around it. Wolfpack Pro is a fantastic indicator. It gives a huge amount of information, and it's extremely useful. And the more information we get, the more we can try and make better decisions. And these decisions really will cost us money. So it's really important. It's a fantastic indicator. And I'll put a shout out to Liquid and his Discord. I'll put a link to it in the description, but it's a great community. They're a great bunch of people, very helpful. I know that Liquid's actually bringing out another indicator that's going to go on price action. Really excited by that. I'm trying to see if I can, try and get a sneak peek or as soon as he's released it, I'll try and do a video on it, because I'm really excited to see it. He's shared a few screenshots in his Discord, and it looks really good. Very complimentary to Wolfpack Pro, and it's probably another missing piece of the jigsaw, really. So really looking forward to that. So yeah, fantastic indicator. Is it worth buying if you've got market Cipher? It's difficult. I have. I think it's great. I think it gives additional confluence, which I think is really helpful. The trades that I talked about on the end of September, where leading into that big pump on the 1st of October, I wouldn't have known, I wouldn't have spotted those without Wolfpack Pro. These green diamonds and the golden crosses, they are absolutely fantastic. And I think if I go to the 6 hour, I want to say there was a big trying to think if this was right. There was a big pump leading up in the last few days. Maybe it's on the main Wolfpack Pro, but I saw I'm trying to remember which time frame it was, where that really got a big there was a big move. Let me see if I can find it on the main Wolfpack Pro. This move, here we go, you can see it. Let me just, too many indicators, not enough space. Right, here we go. This, I did a 1150% Bitcoin move. I did a 2,300% Litecoin move and a 650% Ethereum move based off this 8 hour strong time frame. Very clear green diamond, and the fact that we'd had one before hadn't really played out. We've got this little kind of pump, and then another one here. I felt very strongly we were in for a big move, and we did. And if I zoom out there just to show the significance of it, look, if I draw that line, if I draw a line here, I appreciate it's a bit complicated on my screen. If I just zoom that was pretty much when I entered. That is a big move, right? So do I think it was worth buying, even if I had market Cipher? 100%. It's paid for itself. 100%. I couldn't have made that move without it. Right, I'm going to wrap up now. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like it, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try and put out plenty more content. Put some. I'll read all the comments, but I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this. Feel free to join my Discord server. We've got a great little community that's building up at the moment, so feel free to join that. The link's in the description again. If you are interested in Wolfpack Pro, there is a referral link in there with a discount code that'll save you good money off it. So feel free, grab that, use it, and I hope you have a lot of success with it. Thank you very much.